Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Every garden season, or the beginning of the season, I like to try something new, something I've never done before. And one of those things is growing dahlias from seed. I've grown so many things from seed, but never dahlias. So I thought, let's give it a go. And I was even further inspired last summer when I met a lady named Sarah Berkeley. You might know her on Instagram, Sarah's Garden Creations. She's a cut flower farmer and she's a garden designer. She does beautiful work. And not only that, she's just a really, really nice person. So over the winter, she sent me dahlia seeds from her garden, and I'm gonna give it a go and see what happens. So why would you wanna grow dahlias from seed? Well, you might have grown dahlias from tubers and you know exactly what you're gonna get. You pick out what you like, and then you plant your tubers and that's what you get. With dahlias grown from seed, it's a mystery. You don't know what you're going to get. And I think there's something really exciting about that. And the cool thing is if one you really like, you can dig that tuber up at the end of the season and save it if you like to. I have an admission to make. This year was the very first year that I decided, or just actually I shouldn't say this year, last growing season. Typically I would dig up all of my tubers and store them, and last year I just wasn't feeling it. So I dug up nothing. I stored nothing as far as dahlias are concerned. So I bought some tubers. They've not arrived yet, but I'm also going to be growing Sarah's seeds, and I think it's going to be super fun to watch them come up. And it's very easy to do. You don't even have to have a deep knowledge of seed starting, so you just need a few things. So first off, you need seeds. Let me show you what these look like. The cool thing about dahlia seeds is they should be really simple to sow because they're pretty big seeds actually. It's not like those super tiny carrot seeds or any lettuce seeds, but look at how they're a good size. So I'm going to be able to see these guys when I'm putting them in the soil. And super easy to do. You just need some seed starting mix. My favorite seed starting mix is the Jiffy seed starting. Had great luck with that. And then you need some water and a seed starting tray. You can literally start these if you have egg cartons, or maybe you have cartons that your lettuce or spinach came in. You can grow them in anything or start them in anything, provided they have drainage holes. So if you have a container that you're not using, poke some holes in it and you've got a ready-made seed starting system. So first up, all I'm going to do, I'm going to take this apart and I'm simply going to fill my tray with my seed starting mix. I prefer Jiffy seed starting mix. Whatever brand you prefer is fine. Just want to make sure that when you're starting seeds, you use a soil specific for seed starting because it's nice and lightweight and it allows those roots, those tiny little roots to grow freely, and it drains easily. So I just prefer the Jiffy. I've used it for years and I've started all my seeds in it. So what I've done here is after I've filled my cells, I make a depression in the center of it just using my finger. Dahlia seeds like to be about a ½ inch deep, and then I'm gonna go ahead and drop them in, and it's so nice because the seeds are big and easy to see. So I'm just gonna start popping them in the cells. I got all the seeds in their cells, and now I just wanna cover it up with a little bit of soil. So I'm gonna come back in with a little bit of my seed starting mix and just lightly cover them. And then I like to use my mister and come in and start. You want to use a very gentle spray. You don't want to go in really hard because if you use something from the hose or from the faucet, or even from a watering can for that matter, you can end up forcing the seeds to the surface. You just want to do it gently. It's important to remember too, with new potting soil or seed starting mix, it takes a long time for that water to soak in. So I've been just spraying it repeatedly for it to all go through, and just be very patient with it. And once it's saturated all the way through, I like to come in with a little bit of vermiculite. And what the vermiculite does is I just sprinkle a light coating over the top, and it helps the soil retain moisture so it doesn't dry out as quickly. So I'll come in and just do like a skim coat all over the top. And then once I've got that in place, I go over and just do a light coat of spray on it just to kind of lock everything in place. Pop in the tag, and then the humidity dome on top of that. And that just helps retain moisture so the seedlings don't dry out. They can take anywhere from like 10 to 14 days to germinate, and I'm gonna put them on a heat mat in the basement. So let's go down there and check that out. Okay, it's sort of flat. What this is a heat mat, and you may not even need a heat mat because you don't need extreme heat to start dahlia seeds. They only need between like 65 and 70 degree soil temperature. So going much higher than that really can inhibit germination. So I'm gonna I have a Vivasun heat mat, and the cool thing is, this is also in my Amazon store, so if you're interested in a heat mat, everything is linked below. So I also like the thermostat that you can adjust the temperature on, so you can dial it in specifically for the crop you're trying to germinate. So like for my peppers and tomatoes, they prefer a higher heat, which is perfect right now because I'm not starting my tomatoes and peppers for a couple more weeks. I tend to start those a little bit later than you might normally start them. But these will be up and germinated by the time I'm going to start my tomatoes, and germination for dahlias takes between about 10 and 14 days. So these will germinate. I can get them off the heat mat and then put them right under the grow lights. They don't need light to germinate, so it's not like you have to put these under grow lights as you're trying to get them to germinate. Really, right now you just want to make sure you keep that moisture on them, give them a little bit of warmth, not too much, and wait. And then all you're going to do is hook up your heat mat to the temperature control. Easy stuff. And plug it in, obviously. And then you can adjust it based on the temperature you want. For this, I'm just going to adjust it to, I think I'm going to go with 70 degrees on this. And there's a little probe that comes with this, and this is what goes into the soil to register the temperature. And once it reaches temperature, the gauge will hold it there and it won't rise any further. So you're just gonna lift the dome, pop it in the corner here. And so it should take about 10 to 14 days to germinate, and then they can come off the heat mat. Once about 50% of the seeds germinate, I'll take the humidity dome off because leaving it on too long can cause rot. So once 50% of them have popped through the soil, then this would come off, and I'll put it under my grow lights. Sowing dahlia seeds is super easy, and I'm really excited to see what happens. It's a mystery, which is part of the fun of all of it. And you never know what's going to work and what's not going to work. And I think that's what keeps me interested in gardening. I tend to get bored with things pretty quickly, and there's always something new to learn with gardening. And there are always people out there who know more than you, so I love learning from them. And this is something that Sarah was encouraging me to do. She's like, it's so much fun, and she's got me so interested in growing dahlias from seeds. So go ahead and give Sarah a follow. You won't be disappointed. She does beautiful work, grows great cut flowers as well, and I'm really excited to see what happens here, and I think I'm gonna have some real winners this summer. So, but stay tuned. I'll keep you posted as things grow, and thanks for watching, and I hope you try some dahlia seeds. All right, guys, have a good day. See you in the next one.